Good morning, everyone. Today we are making our way north on Route 15, also known as the Catoctin Highway, through Frederick County, Maryland, to do some exploring and take a look at some pretty cool history. As you know from the title of the video, Frederick is home to 3 of the 6 remaining covered bridges in Maryland. Although each of the bridges that we're going to visit may look similar from the outside, they have major differences on the inside as they each have their own unique structural design. Of the 3 other remaining bridges in Maryland, 2 are located in Cecil County, and the other one is shared by Baltimore and Harford counties. First, a little history on covered bridges of Maryland. Over the past 200 years, there have been more than 120 covered bridges throughout Maryland. In 1804, Theodore Burr of Connecticut, for whom the Burr Arch Truss design is named after, created his design, which essentially is a combination of an arch and a multiple king post truss, and is capable of carrying a much greater load than either of the others by themselves. In 1818, he used the design to build an 18-span superstructure over the Susquehanna River, with a total distance of 4,170 feet, one of the longest covered bridges ever built. It operated until 1854, when 2 of its spans collapsed as the result of the weight of a herd of cattle attempting to cross. The remainder stood there until 1857, when the spring floods washed away a major portion of the eastern spans. Now let's get started by going over the 3 covered bridges that we're going to visit today. They are the Utica Mills covered bridge, the Lloyd Station covered bridge, and the Roddy Road covered bridge, all located in the northern portion of Frederick County. I'll be showing you both the inside and outside of each bridge, as well as giving you some details about the bridge and also a little history on each. All 3 of the bridges that we will see today were added to the National Register of Historic Places on June 23, 1978. Here we are coming up on Utica Park. It's going to be our first stop to see Utica Covered Bridge. I'm going to turn the video off and I'll see you when we get to the bridge. Here we are at our first stop of the day, Utica Mills Covered Bridge. On our way in, we passed by a very nice park, Utica District Park. I think it looked like it would be a very nice stop if you were wanting to take a break and maybe have a picnic lunch. I will put some images up on the screen now to show you the park. This bridge was originally built in 1843 and spanned 250 feet over the nearby Monocacy River. It stood there until 1889, when it was severely damaged by the Johnstown flood, and the salvaged portions of the bridge were moved here to Utica Mills and reconstructed, and now it spans over the Fishing Creek, approximately 101 feet in distance, and is about 8 feet above the creek level. Let's go take a look and see what we can learn about this bridge. Okay, we'll take a look at the inside of the bridge now. This type of bridge is known as a Burr Arch Bridge. As you can see, the arch in the structure here on the side, which supports the bridge in its entirety. These bridges were covered for a reason, so that the weather wouldn't be able to get down to the structure, and hopefully they would last much longer and wouldn't have to be rebuilt. So we can take a look down through the floorboards to the river down below. These seem to be constructed of some huge timbers. This was originally built in 1843. Here's the king post of the structure right here. Let's take a look down below and see what we can see with the structure supporting it underneath. I believe it is now spanning over what is called the Fishing Creek. It looks like the center pier has been redone at some point. That looks way more modern than the stone abutments on the edge of the bridge here. You can see the posts sticking out from underneath there. That's part of the structure and holds up the fir arch. We've also been changed over to some steel underneath of the bridge here, as opposed to an all wooden structure. So that's part of what they must have deemed necessary when they rebuilt the bridge. Interesting. The outside of the bridge is in really good shape. Looks like it's well maintained. And very nice tranquil setting here. Here's the view of Fishing Creek that the bridge spans. Here's part of the original arch that comes down and butts into the stone embankment here to support the entire structure of the bridge. Okay, I think we've seen everything here. We're going to jump back in the car and we're going to head over to the next bridge, which I believe is called Lloyd Station Bridge. It's about 5 minutes down the road, and we will see you there.
Arrive at Lloyd Station Covered Bridge.
Okay, we've made it to the second stop today. We're at Lloyd Station Covered Bridge. It's approximately a 5 to 6 minute drive from Utica Mills Covered Bridge. It was a nice drive through some scenic country roads, and I wanted to let you know that the state of Maryland actually has put up some very nice signs to help guide you along the way to find your way from one bridge to the other. All right, so let's go in and take a look at this bridge and see how it differs from the first one that we just viewed. This type of covered bridge is known as a multiple king post design truss bridge. We'll take a look in and see. You can see the king posts, I would say probably about every 6 to 8 feet. This design was made to cover spans of about 100 feet. That's why they came up with this design. Here's the main king post to the bridge. We have to stop if there's a car. Okay, here's the king post again that supports the structure. This has a clear span of, I think, 90 feet. And as you can see, this is another bridge that is still in use. Made of some huge timbers. I would say each one of those timbers is probably 5 by 12. They all look to be in really good shape. This bridge spans over the Owens Creek. We are near the town of Thurmont right now. Let's go take a look underneath of the bridge and see. Well, what I read online said clear spans this creek, but it looks like they have again added some additional center support at some point after the bridge was built. So this one seems like it needs a little bit of repairs, not quite as good a shape as the last bridge. The stone abutments seem to be in good shape. Let's see if we can take a look over here. They've also added a steel guide wire, or I'm going to call it a buttress, to help support the structure above. When they designed the stone abutments, they provided a little walk path around here so we can get in and take a look underneath of the bridge. Again, it looks as though they've added some steel I-beams to assist the structure. Maybe the original beams must have rotted away, so they have redone the bottom. There's a nice view down the creek and the farms nearby. Another nice feature about this bridge is that there's a very nice park with ample parking spaces right next to it, and there are bathroom facilities and a picnic pavilion and a nice, very nice playground for kids to play in. There's plenty of room to spread out here. It seems like there's a walking path that goes around the little park here, and there was an additional little pedestrian bridge here that we could take a walk across and maybe get a nicer view of the side of the bridge. This bridge has some very interesting history. At one point, the Western Maryland Railroad had a stop in the nearby town of Lloyd, which is how the bridge became known as Lloyd Station. Records also indicate that during the Civil War, after the Battle of Gettysburg, General George Meade crossed the bridge on July 7, 1863, pursuing the retreating Confederate Army. Full view of the bridge from this vantage point. Alright, we'll take a look at the bridge from the other side here. Unfortunately, there's also some dark history to this bridge. In 1991, a truck was set on fire while sitting on the bridge as part of an insurance fraud scam. The damage that it caused destroyed the bridge. Thankfully, it was rebuilt and opened to traffic on July 4th, 1994. Oh, this is a little different here. I didn't notice this on the other bridge, but there seems to be a little storage area here, and I was wondering if anybody knows what that might be. Looks like possibly just to hide some electrical panels. It does look like there's some wires and maybe a fire alarm here. Here's another quick view of the park adjacent to the bridge. It's very nice. There's information from Frederick County Parks. If you need any information there, you can stop the video. Here's the restroom facilities. And if we take a quick walk over here, you can see the view of the bridge from the park. There it is. Okay, I think that's it from here. Let's move on to the third bridge, Roddy Road. A couple more minutes up the road, and we'll see you there. Okay, here we are at our third and final bridge of the day, Roddy Road Covered Bridge. This is the shortest bridge that we've seen today, just a span of over 40 feet, and also the lowest at 8 feet 6 inches in height. There are signs on both sides of the bridge warning of low height. All right, let's take a look at the bridge and see what this one has to offer. All right, as we walk in, we'll note that this type of covered bridge is called a single king post truss bridge, and as you can see why it's called that, there's one king post in the center with timbers going down to the bridge abutments. This type of bridge is used in shorter spans, which is what we have here. Again, large beams on the main structure and then smaller supports everywhere else. All right, we will now go and take a look at underneath the bridge to see the structure down below. All right, it looks as if they have done the same thing that they did on the other bridges that we saw today, which was to add steel beams as the floor structure as opposed to the original wooden bridges. The stone abutments are quite massive with this bridge, even though there is a very small span here. Let's see if we can take a quick look at the bridge. Don't fall in the water here. And down below, this bridge was constructed in 1856 and spans over the Owens Creek. There's also a very nice park just situated off to the side here with a nice parking lot area also. As we make our way through the bridge, as I was saying previously, just off to the left is a nice little picnic area with some swing sets for the kids, ample parking, and again, they provide pit toilets for you. Some nice benches to sit on along the stream here and just enjoy the peace and quiet and the flowing river. As with Lloyd Station Bridge, Roddy Road Bridge also has Civil War history, as records show that Confederate General Jeb Stuart and his cavalry crossed the bridge on July 5, 1863, on the way to join the Gettysburg Campaign. Unfortunately, this bridge has been involved in numerous accidents caused by oversized trucks and sustained major damage to the point that it had to be rebuilt, and the replica bridge stands today in the location of the original bridge. As a result, the state has erected a low clearance warning system to hopefully prevent such occurrences in the future. Okay, we'll take one last view of the bridge from the opposite side along the riverbank. Again, the massive stone abutments on each side are in really good shape. This bridge seems like it's well maintained. And there's a very nice setting here. Let's take a look if we can get underneath here. On this side. Okay, everybody, I think we accomplished what we set out to do today. We saw the 3 bridges of Frederick County, and we got to learn a little bit of the history of each of the bridges and a little bit of information about the types of bridges and structure. I hope the information was helpful to you, and hope you liked the content. If you did, please consider subscribing to my channel and giving me a thumbs up, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video, because you never know what you're going to see when you get out and explore with John.